shredding machine. Sorry, you got to stand up. And I used to get phone call. Why are you doing this? I remember Teresa calling me up going, Siggy, why? Just let it go. Don't even watch it. Because Teresa didn't watch it. Now she's watching it. So you're getting a different Teresa because she's watching it. And she's saying to me, I was manipulated all these years. These people knew that I wasn't watching it. So you could say, listen, if I'm not watching the show, they could get away with saying whatever they want about Teresa. She's not watching it anyway. Now she's watching it. Teresa's done. She's saying, listen, with this phony friendship, you don't like me? Fine. I'm not going to sit here and keep on taking these slings and arrows. She's watching. She's watching what they're saying in their testimonials. She's watching what everybody's saying about her. Honey, you can make fun of Teresa. She is no dummy.
Do you still talk to Teresa?
And do I?
Yeah.
I won't answer. No, I love Teresa. And from time to time, we do text each other. I love you. I miss you. I'm thinking about you. But I do not have conversations with her. I do not, Teresa, once I walk away from something, I don't dress backwards. I don't drive in reverse. I don't look back at past relationships. When I'm done, I'm done. And it's in the best interest of everyone in the Housewife series to not. I'm only going to tell them the truth. And I want them to be successful. I want them to put food on the table for their children. And I want them to live the best life possible. Well, I have a problem with one housewife who keeps on bringing up my name. But if Housewives was not on the air, let me just tell you something. If I was on an island right now with Teresa and Dolores, I can't even talk about it because I tell people we had so much fun that one time I peed my pants. I was like, we had fun. We're cracking up. They don't show. It was just much fun. Dolores and Teresa, when we were filming, when we had breaks or whatever, it was just magical. It was just magical. It was just a magical. Listen, you can't create a friendship like Dolores and Siggy had for 2 seasons. That was my sister, my heart, my soul, my blood. Listen, once I left the show, I couldn't be friends with Dolores anymore. I love her to death. Anything she needs, I'm there for her. But Dolores is on the show. I'm off the show. I would be a selfish fuck if I insisted on keeping that friendship or saying why. She needs to do what she needs to do for her. She's got a beautiful family. And I love Frankie. I love Gabby. And I love Frank Catania. My husband didn't want to film with anybody but Frank Catania. He loved Frank Catania. No one else interested him on the show. He's like, I'm not filming. Get the fuck. Siggy, stop it. I mean, come on. I love that family. I love Teresa's family. Listen, I met Melissa's family. I thought she had a lovely family, lovely kids. Her sisters are beautiful. Her mother was lovely. Listen, there's a line that you do not cross. And I will never, ever cross that line and never harm anybody's family, their finances. Never, ever, ever. That, I don't want to have the wrath of God. Other people wake up and karma keeps biting them in the ass and they're living their miserable lives. Not me. I walk a straight line. I answer to one person. That's it. God, Elohim, and Michael Campanella. 2 people.
Did you explain to Dolores, like, did you say, listen, for your own good, like, I'm walking?
You don't have to explain anything to Dolores Catania. Dolores Catania gets it, knows it. She's brilliant. She is, listen to me. Dolores Catania has dealt with mental illnesses. She's worked in as a corrections officer. She knows personalities. She knows who's coming, who's going, and what they're all about. She has sized up Dolores is brilliant, smart cookie, and not an emotional one. I'm emotional. I'm like, wait a second. I don't know why that person just said that to me. Hold on. That hurt my feelings. What? Get over it. I'm an emotional one. There never was for me. It should have never. Look, I'm very, very grateful. It could have been amazing if producers would just let us be and have a fair edit. That show would not be what it is today.
Speaking of where you are now, I'm just curious because you are in the political sector, like, Teresa and, was on Celebrity Apprentice. Like, does Donald J. Trump, does he understand what Housewives is, like, all this insanity?
Well, let's just think about this. When I first met Donald Trump, because one of my best friends is his attorney, the most savage attorney, Alina Habba. But I want you to know one thing. I said, Mr. President, he goes, Siggy, you don't even have to say it. Everyone's already told me. He goes, Siggy, you're very much loved. Now, don't forget, his wife, his staff, people watch Housewives. So he says, I already know what they did to you is the same thing they did to me. So we had that bonding from day one. So I said, so Mr. President, I don't have to explain to you about selective editing and false narrative. He goes, no, I live it every day, 24/7 for the past. And at that time when I met him, it was 4 years ago, but now it's 8 years that they've been doing it to him. He goes, I got it. Do not worry. And I go, why, Mr. President? I don't want them to believe that the negative edit. He goes, the truth always comes out. People see right through the edit. And here he is. The polls they keep on growing. Everything they try to do for him, he's like, no. Meanwhile, the other side is the corrupt side. They cheat, they lie, they steal. That makes sense that certain housewives support Biden. But on the other hand, the greatest human being, the greatest friend, that was our bonding thing. He understood the bridge of try to take me down, but I fought it just like you, Mr. President. I am still fighting it. I won't let them get away with anything. I'm staying here and I'm still fighting it because what they're doing is a disgrace. It's sad for them because it shows that they're still obsessed with me. And it's just not a good look. Not a good look for them.
Well, I didn't think of that. That is a good point. I guess that is what kind of bonded you is that you both have a certain edit. And
correct.
What about, because Teresa has said, that like when she was going through all this, like with Joe and like Joe got deported, like they never reached out to Donald Trump, even though they were on The Apprentice. Like, did you ever think, because that is right around the time that you met him. You're much more close with him now, but like, did you ever think of like stepping in and intervening and saying to Donald, like
certain people did step in. There was nothing that the president could do at that time, but I could tell you that the president and his family loved Teresa Giudice. They had a great time with her on the show. Lynn Patton was the one who got Teresa Giudice on The Apprentice. And he was always fond of her because of her authenticity. She never tried to pretend she was somebody she wasn't.
Wait, so just before we move on, so like, and we can wrap up, like, so it's not like Teresa never reached out to you to try to appeal anything to Donald, or it's not like you could have anyway.
Is the question you're asking, so I get it right. Did Teresa try to help out Joe Giudice?
By calling you because you're so close to Donald Trump.
Teresa Giudice tried to help Joe Giudice the answer is yes. She wanted the father of her children to be allowed back in the United States of America. Your question is, did she need Siggy Flicker? She didn't need Siggy Flicker. She's friends with members of the Trump family and they adore her.
That was my question. Just because you are so close, I just figured.
I don't know, but at that point, I was starting my relationship. It was just a beginning. But isn't it